Out of the Home Investors team here to give the latest market update for the month of April 2020. I'm going to be comparing the month of April to that of last year, 2019, as well as give you an indication as how the market is trending in response to COVID-19 over the past 2 months. So the average price for property as reported through the Toronto Real Estate Board came in at $821,000 April 2020. That's only about $1,000 more than April of 2019. So the prices are remaining stable, which is a good thing. However, the number of transactions dropped by 67%. They came in on 2,975 properties that were bought and sold. And in comparison to last year, there was 9,005 properties that were bought and sold in April of 2019. So that's a substantial drop. The average days on market came in at 19, and there was no change in that compared to April of 2019. Now, when looking at the different property types, detached properties in a 416 dropped by about 7.8%, averaging $1,249,000. Semis were up by about 4%, averaging just below 1.1 million, and townhomes averaged about 3.5% at 784,000. Condos, however, did take a drop by about 4%, averaging $612,000. Now, in the 905, detached properties did drop by just less than 1%, averaging $907,000, whereas all the other property types did go up by about 4.2%. For semi-detached, averaging $719,000, townhomes averaging $655,000, also about a 4% increase, and then condos up by about 1.5%, averaging $489,000. Now, these numbers tell us how the market is in comparison to last year. However, it doesn't tell us how buyers and sellers are responding to COVID as the weeks go by. Now, comparing it on a week-by-week basis, I don't think we'll have enough data to make any any analysis out of that. However, I have been comparing the numbers on a 2-week basis, and I've seen a bit of a trend. And by 2 week, I mean first half of a month and that of the second half of a month. So pre-quarantine was March 1st to the 15th, and in Toronto there was 1,660 properties that sold. In the second half of March, there was 1,027, so there's about 600 properties that sold less in the second half of March, and they took even a further dip in the in the first half of April to about 461 properties, and then there was a slight rebound, 489 in the second half of April. And likewise, the average price of properties that sold followed a similar trend. In the first half of March, the average price was $1,013,000. They took a dip in the second half, and then by the second half of April, we saw the prices at about $903,000, which is the lowest out of all 4 periods. And York region, I did the same analysis, and I noticed that prices did dip, and then however they rebounded in the second half of April. However, the number of transactions are down substantially every 2-week period. So in the first half of March, there was 917 properties that sold. The first half of April, there was only 220 properties that sold. And then once again, in the second half of April, we have 211 properties that sold. So there's a substantial drop in the number of properties that were sold. However, prices not quite the same. First half of March, we saw the average price being $1,007,000, and then they took a dip right up until the first half of April, where the average price was up at $891,000. However, in the second half of April, they rebounded back to about $970,000. So that's telling us that the prices are remaining stable. However, transactions are dropping. Now, to put this into perspective, it's not that there's an overwhelming amount of properties on the market ready to be sold. The number of new listings has also come down by about 60 to 67%. depending on the area that you're looking at. So sellers are not eager to put the properties on the market, and likewise buyers are hesitant to go into people's homes, and they've put their buying plans on hold as well. Essentially, real estate has been put on hold by the vast majority of people out there, and we'll see how the next couple of weeks in May and the last week of May, how the numbers will come in at that point in time. I have included everything down below, so scroll down and take a look for yourself if you're having trouble following along to what I'm saying. As always, if you have any questions, you're interested in more detailed information into your community, your town, I'd be happy to put that together for you. Keep in mind, real estate is very localized. Just because I'm giving you averages here does not mean that's what's happening in your neighborhood or in your area. It could be better, it could be worse. You only need to find out is to ask me or ask your realtor to give you the information that you're looking for. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You have my information. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you next time. In the meantime, be safe and take care of yourselves.